Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about the Unwanted Undead Adventurer, which was a recommendation from the Undead Jib. Thank you for the recommendation. Very much appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Before that, we were just having some fun in the pre-show. If you want to check us out and listen to that pre-show, go ahead and join us on Twitch, where we stream majority of our episodes live, or go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast. $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content. And now on to the meat and potatoes. The unwanted undead adventurer, or as it is also known as the unwanted immortal adventurer, because it is both ways. I've seen it both ways anyways. Originally came out in January 2024 through March 2024. Studio producers for it are Marvelous Entertainment, Pony Canyon, Overlap, just to name a couple of them. The studio for it is Connect. Its genres are action, adventure, and fantasy. It is based off of a light novel. It's 12 episodes long. Now, what the Unwanted Undead Adventurer is about is Rentt is basically an unlucky adventurer who's a veteran that ends up dying after running into a dragon. I'll use air quotes for that, in a labyrinth that is called the Moon's Reflection, which is supposed to be a low level or easy, if you will, dungeon that he is in. As a result of him being killed by this dragon, he then revives as a skeleton. Through a series of events after this happening, he learns that defeating monsters helps fuel his existential crisis, as well as his existential evolution, letting him climb the undead forms toward his goal of becoming human again, or as close to it as possible. With the help of a friend that he's got, a scholar mage named Lorraine, he's able to conceal his identity and starts off as a rookie adventurer again and begins to also climb the ranks while he continues to reach his ultimate goal that he originally had before dying, which is being a mithril ranked adventurer.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. The story itself is very linear. You see a very quick progression in the beginning, and then it kind of tapers out before it hits its finale. I watched it I watched it dubbed with subtitles. And if you like spoilers, or you don't mind spoilers, that's the way to do it. If you do care about spoilers, don't turn the sub on, because the sub will tell you exactly what kind of monster is talking, if they're talking. So at first it'll be like skeleton, Rentt skeleton, and then Rentt ghoul, and then Rentt something else, and you're like, I didn't get the
reason why they
evolution yet.
The reason why they did that is because it's not the subtitles that you're looking at, it's the closed captions that you're looking at.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. But okay. We watched that on Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah, if you have the English if you have the language as English as the primary, when you set it at default and you set it so that way you can actually read what's being said, it is closed captioning. It is not subtitles.
Okay. So yeah, avoid that if you don't want spoilers, because it will tell you about the evolution before you get to learn about the evolution.
Okay.
And yeah, they would be like, "Oh yeah, Red White is talking," and you're like, "But I thought he was that." And then later, you're like, "Oh my goodness, I evolved into a blah blah blah," and you're like, "Oh, I kind of already knew that because of the subtitles or the caption."
I already knew that. You didn't spoil anything for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know. In all honesty, this reminds me of it reminds me of Afroetta light. You know what I mean? Like very generic backstory, very generic progression, minor changes to make it interesting and unique. That being said, I like it. It is my kind of genre. You could cookie cutter it to all live in hell. Give me the scraps, give me the little the burnt edges, and I will consume everything happily. It's one of the stories that, even though it's incredibly predictable, and in situations where the protagonist should lose and doesn't through some interesting armor, I'm okay with it. I'm here for it. I approve. I actively chase it. And to the point where, even though I know if a season 2 were to come out, which they're scheduled to come out again, I'm gonna watch it. And I know I'm not going to be super impressed with the story progression, but I'm going to eat it up like a delicacy, because I like it. I don't, for lack of a better way to put it, I like it for the fact of what genre it is, what stereotypical cookie cutter, like slap brand on it with several different possible scenarios, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, I get that. It is honestly, it's a great, easy story to consume. It definitely, yeah, this is easy to consume, easy to watch show. It's something that's honestly in my opinion, one of the more better ones in terms of growth and development for the main character, because it's not just you learning about it. It's not just him learning about it or anything like that. It is quite literally everyone learning about everything as they go on. And the reason why I say this is because when this happens, he's a skeleton, but he also remembers, like, oh, I've heard of some people becoming a ghoul after they die, or sometimes they evolve into X when this happens, or X happens for this. And it is a point in when they are going through the story, you're learning about this because they broach the topic, especially right afterwards, and he remembers about like existential evolution, and they don't know how it happens. They don't know what goes on. They could just go, okay, well, this is what happened. What happened when this happened? Well, I defeated enough monsters and this is what ended up happening. All right, cool. When I got up to this point, well, this is what ended up happening. I evolved into a ghoul at that point. Oh, okay. Well, now we know. What caused you to evolve into this? Well, and so everyone's, and it's not just us, which I really enjoy. It's the main character and his friend. All of us are learning about the growth and the evolutions and everything like that, and they're trying to figure it all together. Oh, this must have been the trigger for you to evolve into this. Oh, this must have been the trigger for this. Oh, Rick must have been the one to just flash you his wonderful status, and then poof, there you go. All of a sudden, you're at this point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do like the fact that they have a researcher there. It gives a proper reason to explain it to the audience.
Yes.
And I mean, I've seen some ham-fisted like exposition where you're like, I'm glad I learned it, but like, I didn't realize I was gonna like have a baby bib on me and you're spoon feeding it with like airplane sounds, like here comes the information.
Right.
Whereas here it felt like they were learning with you rather than dictating to you.
Yeah. And they also did a great job of laying the groundwork too for why he knows her, why they know each other. Yeah. And just the in general world building for this was very well done. It was solid. It was wonderfully executed. At no point did you ever feel like, oh, this makes no sense, because it did. And when they introduce someone or they put someone in there for a particular reason, they either referenced it or showed him later on, but he's not interacting because they're not the core people that he's dealing with at that point in time. And as for him being an adventurer or a veteran or anything like that, they do a great job of explaining it, showing the impact that he's actually made over it, how people react to him not just being there anymore. And for a lot of people, not just individuals. And then you start hearing all these conversations. It's like, well, why was he like this? And then you realize from one-off conversations, side conversations, or anything else, you learn, well, he was so beloved and sought after because you learn that for adventurers, for them, when they're going down in the tunnels, you learn that people more often than not are going to try and backstab you. They're going to steal from you. They're going to kill you. They're going to use something or do something to your advantage, to their advantage. And
yeah.
And he was one of the ones where basically, hey, if you're a new adventurer, the guild knew, hey, go to Rentt. He'll get you taken care of. He'll help you out. He'll help you learn your footing and get your legs under you for you to grow and move on with that. And that's honestly one of the better things. That was one of the key pivotal points for this.
Well, yeah. In a world where you got to look out for numero uno, you got to look out for yourself and no one else, because everyone else, like you said, has a reason, and rather not a reason, but they've got a reason to be selfish. They've been, for lack of a better word to say it, they've been taken advantage of to almost their death a few separate times. And you just become a hardened, it's a dog eat dog world. So I've got to take care of myself and no one's going to take care of me kind of situation. He's a breath of fresh air, and he is, for lack of a better way to put it, he's naive, blissfully so. But the second he finds out that you're not as good as he thinks you are, you're toast. For instance, he turned into a ghoul, and one of the things he was doing was he found a guy and helped him, and he's like, geez, I really wish he'd have turned out to be a bad guy because I could have eaten him. And then I'm like, hold on, eaten? Like this is a turn. And then you find out that instead of him being this benevolent, you find he is realistic. He does give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove you don't deserve it. And thankfully, some of the people that we saw in there were good natured enough to deserve the benevolence that he offers.
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah,
that's one of the things where he's able to kind of bring the realistic approach to it, the realistic view for it, in that he's able to have that internal monologue or that internal dialogue and have it be flown or sewn through everything so effortlessly, so that way you're not getting bombarded with a bunch of random information at inopportune times. Because when he brings that up, when he says that, almost quite literally after, you find out like, oh, well, the reason why he was really kind of craving that, the reason why he was really wanting that is because that was the key indicator. That's what he needed to evolve into his next evolution. And then again, it's the same thing. He's moving on and moving forward. And then there's like, his body knows when it's ready for the evolution, when he's ready to move forward. And so he has a key indicator for it. Now, the other thing is that I thought was really interesting is because typically if you're a ghoul or goblin or whatever it is, and you eating people and flesh and everything like that, you're not going to be able to eat normal food. For him, you learn, well, no, actually he can eat it. It just doesn't taste good to him, or it doesn't satiate him or anything like that. And the thing that really makes it better is not even having a whole bunch of blood in there. It's just like a little drop. That's it. Just a little pin drop of blood. And that's it. And the entire bowl is stew, and he's good to go. Like, this is great. I don't need anything else. That satiated me.
Yeah, no, I don't just satiate. It made it to where I personally think it went beyond satiation. I don't think it just satisfied him. I think it went beyond that and took care of the need for nutrients.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, zombies need food, ghouls need food to sustain themselves. However, one drop plus food seemed to make him human, like for lack of a better way to put it. Like it made him feel like he was a human and able to maintain his humanity. One thing, I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit, going to the power scaling side. There was a throwaway comment, and I did see it in the dub. I did not watch it in the sub. I imagine you did, so maybe you can enlighten me on this. The divinity that he has, he earned from cleaning up a random temple or
shrine.
I assume it was a temple shrine. Okay. And he assumes his level of divinity is low. And then we encounter a nun who has a divinity illness where she's not producing enough divinity. And basically what happened.
No, it's not that she's producing enough divinity. Her body can't get rid of the negative effects of the divinity that normal people, it's a rare set of people that can use it. But when they use it, there's an even rarer or fewer number of people that then have a negative effect. They're not able to dispel the negative energy naturally. So there's this buildup of this negative side effect of using divinity in their body. And so they have to use a very expensive medication to get rid of it and make it so that way they can continue to use it.
Okay. See, I understood that and I was super confused by it. I was like, how does a nun have less divinity than some rando who just happened to clean up a shrine by the side of the road?
Well, and again, they never spoke to like her not having a lot of divinity. It's just we're just correct, assuming. Yeah. For him, he does say that he doesn't have a lot of divinity. It's just that he can use some divinity because the level at which he can use it. And he does make a point as he progresses through everything. He does note that his divinity is getting stronger the stronger he gets.
Yeah, substantially. It made you think. Now, one of the things that he's able to do with divinity, destroy something, I think is what he was testing on, slice clean through with divinity, and holy sprouts burst forth. That was kind of cool. Made me think of what else he could do with divinity. You can heal. Obviously, he does so. You can fight with it. It's really good against undead, which he, I think, happens to be. So I was really confused how he's able to use it and not damage himself or anything like that.
Well, that's one of the things that he also was confused with. He's like, oh, I can use it. And typically monsters aren't able to use it. But I think it's more along the lines of the effects in which he's using it or how he's using said divinity. So it's not being used to attack him with, and what he's using isn't strictly speaking a negative notion of it because he's not using it on himself. He's not trying to heal himself.
Yeah.
Or attack himself.
That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. It just seems rather, obviously plot, it seems convenient. But it occurred to me that like one person was getting sick and he obviously wasn't.
Right.
But then it made me think the amount of divinity he was able to use versus the amount of magic he was able to use. He's one of the very few people that can use magic, divinity, and what was the third one? Skill? No.
Spirit, magic, divinity.
Spirit. Yeah. So typically you can get one. If you do a good deed and the god that's closest to you thinks that you did well, he gives you the divinity to contend with. But having all three in your body at one time and being able to use all three, not even effectively, just at all, is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. It's so rare, in fact, that the only person to do it prior to, or rather, the only person to do it after he tested for it was him again under a pseudonym.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the synonym that he chose was more along the lines of, and he, again, I have to go back. The world building honestly in this is just, it's done appropriately because how they connect the people, how they connect the story, how they move it along, his mentality for everything when he does something, it's just not haphazardly or anything like that. There is a thought process behind it. And so when someone like, cause he's originally called Rentt Fina, and well, he can't go and use his original name because of what has happened. So he goes, oh, I'm going to be Rentt Vive, which is Lorraine, the scholar, her name. And so he says, oh, I'm actually a relative of hers. And that is why I'm staying there. And so it helps lay to concern like some rando guy is staying at her house, and that someone completely random, and it helps automatically build that layer of trust because, oh, the scholar has a relative and they are staying there.
And the scholar, who's a weirdo, has a family member who's a weirdo. So it's not that out of the realm of being weird.
Exactly.
It must be a family thing.
Yeah. So
then she even remarks that. Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say she even remarks that, you don't have to do that, and people already think I'm weird, so it's not unusual for a weirdo to. He's like, no, you have a reputation to uphold. I'm not about to add to your claim of being too weird because I don't think you're weird. You haven't done weird things. You like, she didn't earn the weirdo name that she has by doing like one thing. She did it over the course of years and maybe even seclusion and things like that. So like rumors started that she never cared enough to fix. And it turns out she's actually quite strong. But since I've said a bunch of stuff about this that I actually do like, I'm gonna say one thing I really don't like, and it's the loose ends that happen. He's in the labyrinth in an uncharted area, and he happens upon this beautiful room that care was taken. Upkeep, all that stuff.
What?
So he happens upon, I assume, a child's room.
A room. We don't know if it's a child's room or not. We can
I assumed it was a child, but
we can assume that there was a child there, but the bones that were there were not that of a child. Also, it is not great care or anything like that. It is pretty dilapidated. And I mean, like, he even goes to touch a teddy bear and it literally disintegrates. As he touches it. Yeah. It's just not touched.
I guess. Okay. So I was saying not touched and not.
You were giving it the impression that it was this like beautiful, magnificent room in my mind.
Oh, okay. So I apologize. My intention was to say that the room was unmolested, meaning it was not pilfered and it was not disturbed. It was somebody's final resting place, and it looked untouched. It looked preserved, not necessarily in a great way, but there were books there. There were things there that might have held some kind of knowledge that would have been good. Anyway, he's in there, and this crazy strong person shows up and was like, "Oh, you've come here
to
what? Steal? To pilfer, to steal? I will not allow it. I will not allow you to defile this area." And then he just basically gets rocked. Like the strength difference is
right. So your issue is,
and my issue is he was gifted two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was gifted a map that is on, what did they say, it was on the level of like a national treasure, and he was gifted a cloak that was better than any armor he had prior.
Right.
And
so
probably
it's a magical item. Yeah, the item that he was given is a magical item, and those tend to cost a lot of money. You have some that are trinkets and that do nothing, but some that are magnificent beyond your wildest dreams. For the one he was given specifically, basically, if he thought about the dungeon, it would map out the entire area that he's already traveled to for it, and it doesn't show anything beyond that. So he thinks about another labyrinth that he was in, and it's not nearly as complete as another labyrinth that he had thought about as well. So
don't
able
forget
to see those differences for it. And it also shows him people that he has met.
There you are.
But not really met. People that he's seen and heard the name of is what I'm going to say.
Well, I don't know if he heard the name per se, but he did meet these two people.
No, he heard their
For
names.
argument's sake, okay, I was gonna say for argument's sake, let's assume he heard his name and I just missed it. Because that happens.
Yeah, the reason why I know that he knows their names is because he's watching them fight. He calls her name, tells her to do something, and she responds by saying his name, and that's how he's able to hear their names. And then when he hears their names again, he goes, "Oh, right," and flashes back to that exact scene with them saying the names again when he meets them again. So he already knew them, and that's how he was able to see the names and see them on there. Because when he's looking at the map, and again, he looks at the map and he sees the names, he recalls the names that he had heard as well. So you have a trifecta of them originally saying the name, him reconfirming the name, and then him reconfirming the name again. So he did.
Okay. So I just missed it then.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, nothing. There's no further story with this super powerful person. There's no, I gotta find her. There's no, I need to be her equal. There's no, like, if I'm gonna give you some of these,
he does try to go back, and he does say he wants to try and go and talk to her, but the entrance was sealed. So it's not a matter of him going out there and go, "I'm gonna go find her." It's like, what do you expect her to do? I'm going on an adventure after I just finished becoming a ghoul, and be like, "All right, people, deuces," and go on your gallant way. No, what he's going to do is he's going to rank up, continue on his original goal, and then also at the exact same time trying to get answers. So he has that in the back of his head. He has that in the back of his mind. It's laid out there for it. I agree. I think it's crappy for them to leave you that little piece of nugget, but they did several pieces of nuggets like that in this show. And they've always done in other shows where they give you enough information so that way if they come back with a season 2, they have a way to be able to continue to grow, continue to expand beyond that. But they will continue on. And luckily this is getting a season 2. So that is a positive notion. That is a positive point where we are getting a season 2.
Yeah. And I'm super happy about that. Especially since they end the season on something that feels like it should be a mid-season. Like it feels like they're ending episode 12 on something that should be a 24 episode season, because it definitely brings you desire to watch season 2, like tomorrow, today even. But the fact that they're in already production is good. Maybe they were trying to do something where they would have more of a chance to get called on again. And I like the fact that no matter what happens, his goal really doesn't change. He wants to be mithril class, and he's not willing to sacrifice his own morals, his own ideals to make that happen.
True.
And you don't normally see that in an anime. And some will be like, "Oh, I need to protect some humans. I got to do this. I got to do that." Whereas he is just like,
well, he's also not arrogant to go, "Oh, I have to be the protector of humanity." He's like, no, he wants to be the protector of those who cannot be protected, because that is still part of his ultimate goal. But he wants to meet who that mithril class adventurer was. He wants to do more. He wants to figure out who they were and who they are. He wants to reach that goal and be able to save the people he wasn't able to save, his parents. He wants to be there for them, and he wants to be strong, the strongest he can be. He's not compromising his moral structure for that. He's not compromising who he is for that. But what he is doing is he is moving forward regardless on it. And his goal now, he basically has the ability to now reach that goal, because one of the things that they tell you in the series is he's been at rank 2. So you have iron and then bronze for his levels of beginners. He's been at bronze for 10 years. And he has never been able to go
super stagnant.
Yeah, he's never been able to go above bronze. And now he's got the abilities, he's got the strength, he's got the stamina and everything else to go above bronze, to go to silver, gold, then mithril.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely does have the opportunity for it. That's for sure. But
One thing though, and they do leave you on a note of, well, that's kind of cruddy how they ended it, because I'm not going to go into the details for it, how it ends. I just happen to know I wasn't a fan of how it ended, but I'm also glad that there is a second season coming.
yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like I'm I was going to touch on a few points that you covered. I'm like, well, okay. Okay, what next? Okay. So it's just, there's lots in store. I feel like they've got a golden amulet in their hands. All they got to do is just polish it a little and a genie comes out. Whereas that's essentially season 2. All they got to do is just status quo, a little bit of extra fluff for us, and season 2 is a success. Or they could take this golden amulet, melt it down for whatever purpose, and completely go a different route, making us not like the show.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. Well, I think I'm good for ratings, or how about you?
I am indeed.
All right.
I am indeed.
So on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
This for me is a solid 8. Like it would be higher except for the ending and except for the minor plot holes. But it's an easy 8 for me. It's a rough 9. Depending on your reasoning to give it whatever you have, I'm willing to go up to a 9. But I'm sitting on an 8 right now. If you can give me a better reason why it should be a 9, then I'd gladly go to that. But as it stands, I'm comfortable saying a strong 8.
Okay. So the reasons why you're at an 8 are because of those.
Oh, sorry. The reason it's not higher, because I loved a lot of this. The reason it's not higher than an 8 is because of the open ending on the second season. At the time, I didn't know if it was going to have a second season or not. I had to look that up. And just the minor plot holes, the convenient things that just happen for no other reason than they want to make him stronger. When he should lose, he doesn't. But again, it's what I expected from it. I just didn't like how blatant it was. And you? You want specifics?
Yeah, so you're saying like, oh, well, when he was supposed to lose, he didn't. Like,
yeah, so like there were a few in the anime where he faced somebody who he should have had a harder time with. Maybe not necessarily he should have, but when he first started with as a skeletons, like he should have lost something before he jumped up to the evolution. I feel like it would have been better if he would have been dead. You have a sense of fear. You have a sense of something's at stake, and they didn't give me that on when he was. Well, maybe I'm mixing it up with another one because I felt like he had another fight with somebody that he had to like pull out this miraculous thing we hadn't seen before, but made sense. It's possible I'm mixing them up.
Okay, so the issue that you had was that you felt like he didn't endure any hardships, and that the fact that he fought the skeletons and then leveled up in your mind's eye after a short period of time.
Yeah. I feel like his progression was too quick for what he did. And for instance, he was able to fight a giant skeleton on par when he was barely past that. He wasn't at boss level yet, but due to his divinity and his happenstance, he was able to go beyond his limits and win. When I think personally, it would have been a lot more difficult of a battle rather than just, divinity, boop, I win. It would have been nice to see him struggle a little bit more to earn his abilities a little bit more.
Well, it's not that he got the abilities or the divinity after the events that happened. He had those before he died. So it's not like he gained anything after he died in terms of magic, divinity, or spirit, he had those from the get-go at the very beginning. So that never changed. It's his
Okay.
strength and speed that then increased on top of that because he became an undead and he was able to rank and level up through efforts like that. And it has been a few days that has happened for that. And that's why he was able to level up. And you don't see every single battle that has happened. You just know he quite literally was in there for probably 2, maybe 3 days. And for the entire duration of that entire 2 to 3 days, he doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to sleep. He just walked through and probably pounded, he just grinded and grind because he noticed like, oh, I got a little bit stronger when I defeated this enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue to do this and get stronger. You don't need to see him, just grind through 100 levels, or 1,000 battles for him to show he's getting stronger. You just know that from that beginning instance to the point to where he finally reaches that, oh, I finally must have killed enough to level up.
Yeah, and then the catalyst. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I hate to say it, I'm still comfortable at an 8. I feel like if I go any higher than that, I would give the other 9s a disservice.
In what way?
Because this one, I'm rating it so high because I like the genre. I like the storytelling. It's nothing about this story in particular stands out from the cookie cutters.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they may have a better delivery, but I don't think it's worth a 9, mainly because the ending and heck is that elf that whooped his butt.
Yeah.
I got no answers on it. And it felt like he kind of gave up on getting answers like an episode later.
No, it's again, it's not that he gave up on getting answers. It's that literally we also have to kind of keep in mind the time frame for him overall for this entire thing is not that long. I want to say it's probably maybe 2 months at most. At most.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not in the labyrinth that long. And the growth and succession for this is not that long. For him to come out of there, for him to grow, for him to move up the rank and everything like that, it is not that long of a period for it. So it is quite a rapid succession on this.
Okay, so it was just my misunderstanding. Let me see. So, given all of that, you know what? Screw it. You took out my two main. Well, you took out one of my main arguments for it not being a 9, and that's good enough to give me a 9. So I'm going up and I'm giving it a 9. I'd recommend this to other people. You could watch it in public. There's no embarrassing. Oops, what's that sound? It's enjoyable and it's very easy to consume. So 9. I'm giving it a 9.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I did not want to go up, but you. I'm not gonna say you dismantled my arguments, but you did bring up very valid points that I was overlooking.
Yeah, normally you're able to articulate better as to why and have it make sense to me, and that's why I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like normally you're pretty on point with an exact reason as to why when you're teetering on it, and the reasons you were giving just didn't mesh. That's why I was asking. You left you left it vague, and I'm like, that does not work.
I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you holding me to that standard. Because So anyway, final answer: knocked in 9.
9. All right. You? Obviously, for me, it's going to be a 9 because I enjoyed it. It was really well done. It was a great story. It flowed easily. There are things that I don't have answers to, which is understandable given the fact that there's especially a season 2 coming around the corner, where I feel like they will expand on and elaborate on those answers a little bit more and give us more information on it. So I'm looking forward to that for season 2. But that's why I'm giving it a 9 is because there are just some things where you're not given information and And I just wish they would give you a little bit more information. But it's a growing journey. It's a growth portion of it, and then the open ending was kind of cruddy.
Yeah, like it felt like a mid-season cutoff.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Yeah. Anyway,
next week we're going to be watching a recommendation from Jeb, and it is Moonlit Fantasy.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen it. I am not opposed to watching it again. I remember liking it. I remember liking it a lot.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm going to be super excited for that as well. And so, yeah, that's all the time that we have for today. If you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice, or just plain old got things wrong, feel free to let us know. You can reach out to us. All the contact information is available at featuredanimepodcast.com as well as on our website and in the show notes. And then let's not forget about our affiliate links for Crunchyroll. If you use those affiliate links, we'll get a little bit of a kickback, and plus you get a free trial or a discount off the store for your first purchase. And then, of course, let's not forget about Tokyo Treats. If you use coupon code Featured Anime, you get $5 off that very first box. Trust me, the treats are worth it. And then, of course, our own shop at shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.